In Calamity Mod, the Rogue class offers many different options when it comes to weapon types. From bombs, scythes, knives, and more, there are obviously a lot to choose from. In this video, we attempt to play through the game with only the consumable variety of rogue weapons, these being weapons that stack to 999 items in your inventory. While they are very good weapons, there are very large gaps within the progression, so mastering a certain type of strategy will definitely be something I need to look into. Let's hope I will be able to throw my large arsenal of weapons to defeat all the enemies. Of course, once the Draydon mechs have been destroyed, that is when our challenge is complete. Hope you guys enjoyed. We start off our adventure like any other, breaking down trees and opening our starter bag. Within the starter bag is our first weapon. After chopping down the trees, I decided to build some houses for NPCs. This will be helpful in getting many of the items I need for my playthrough. After attempting to get shade wood early, I kind of learned how hard that is. Shit! However, I was still able to craft myself some shadewood armor, which is very nice for being able to survive actual enemy hits. After finding a desert, I found a flying carpet, which allowed me to get some good mobility early game. I then found out that there is a really good rogue weapon that is consumable that you can craft with cactus, and you'll see why it's very OP in just a moment. I found a merchant who was kind enough to sell me an anvil. Cool. Then I obtained a gi from a traveling merchant that came, which is a very good damage boost early game for me. I then went on to try and get some snow ruffian armor, but I decided not to because of how shit it is. I ended up opting for a different armor set you'll see later. Exploring the underground ice biome was a pretty good idea. I got some good boots, and then I died in front of our house, which is cool. After mining about every bit of ore in our world, we decided to craft some golden armor, keeping the gi for the added damage and critical strike. We then craft the coin of deceit, which is pretty nice. It's a nice little rogue accessory that can help us get some more damage in. I want to apologize because I accidentally had Louis AFK's infinite consumables turned on, which I end up turning off later. I didn't realize it. And I'm sorry. We then have a goblin invader world, and we ended up pretty much destroying them with our new piercing weapons, which is pretty nice. Then we prepare ourselves an arena for the next boss we were going to try and fight, which is the Eye of Cthulu. Being one of the easiest fights in Calamity Mod, I pretty much knew that we could win this one. Now enjoy the fight. I'll shut up for this one. Now that the stupid eyeball was defeated, we are now able to get some cool items from him. By that I mean pretty much nothing. One thing we do actually end up getting is a acid rain, which is a pretty nice event for a new rogue armor set that we can craft. We then craft our sulfurous armor set after getting our magic storage up and running. This allows us to get some good power for our next boss fight, which I will also shut up for. Defeating Desert Scourge really didn't do anything for progression with our circumstances, so we end up going straight to the next boss, the Eater of Worlds. Unfortunately though, I suck at this game and end up failing. To cope with this defeat, I ended up making some surreal looking housing to house some NPCs that I need, because I really need to get some better accessories. And after a few attempts, I was finally able to beat the Eater of Worlds. After defeating the worm, we are now able to progress even further in our rogue adventure, gaining new and powerful items. After crafting a quick upgrade, we went straight back to fighting. After we beat Hive Mind, there are so many different upgrades we can now obtain, with Area Light giving us access to our next armor set, which will give us a significant power bonus. Then we decide to pick on King Slime, which we utterly destroy with our new upgrades. We then fight Skeletron, who I forget to start recording for until halfway through the fight, so enjoy the rest of it. Okay, since Skeletron was not really necessary, we can go straight on to fighting the slime god, so enjoy the fight. Now that Slime God was taken care of, there is nothing stopping us from defeating the Wall of Flesh. Let's go. After beating the Wall of Flesh, That concludes our first half of our playthrough with only consumables. Like and subscribe to stay tuned for part 2, where we enter hard mode and attempt to beat the challenge.